Next up here, Stanford, Washington, as the Pac-12 Palooza continues. We've got Washington here, 12.5-point home favorite, 61.5 the total. So now it's getting up there with Washington. I will admit that. I mean, we're now talking about the betting markets are clearly upgrading this team after last week. No question. They were only 8-point favorites entering the season against Stanford. Now they're laying 12.5 currently. So, betting markets paying respect to this team. That was a great performance against Michigan State. First good team they've played all year. They were awesome on offense with Michael Penix and that faster paced, more pass-heavy offense, which he clearly is in great rhythm with and is thriving with this offense right now. And the defense, which, I don't think it's quite as good as it's been the last couple of years, but they really bottled up Michigan State for a good 3 quarters in that game before the Spartans finally got something going. I think Stanford's defense is not great, and they're really going to have a tough time with Penix. They really are. I mean, the Stanford defense is still not a defense I think of as a shutdown group. It's a defense that got shredded last year. They played USC. They got picked apart. I think Penix and Washington could pick them apart as well. But Tanner McKee at quarterback for Stanford, that offense is capable for Stanford. It's solid. It's good. And I think, they can put up some points here. This is more of an overlook for me than anything. I mean, you haven't normally thought of David Shaw Stanford teams as over teams the last prior to last year, but last year they really were because the defense was so bad. You look at this year, USC game goes over the total. The game, Colgate, they score 41, but they give up 41 to USC. Washington's gone over the total in every game this season, 3-0 to the over. I cashed a ticket with Michigan State, Washington over last Saturday. I'm going right back to the well. Washington and another over for me with them, 61.5 here against Stanford. Conor, Mac, what do you think?
Yeah, I'm going to wait and see. I kind of like your over. I think there could be points. This is just not the Stanford of the past. This is defensively, they just give up a ton of points. But I think McKee can score a little bit in this one. Penix has been phenomenal and bringing life to this Washington, a dead offense, the last few years. And you've been on it early with these overs. A lot of points, though, in this one. I don't think I can get behind the tree here with Stanford with these points. To me, I almost want to lay it with Washington. I got to see a little bit more. And this is a good spot with them at home. I know that game was really big with Michigan State. Maybe a little bit of a letdown. But I think if it's under 2 touchdowns, I think you can lean to Washington here. I'm going to wait, though. I'm going to look at these some of these West Coast games a little bit more through the week.
Yeah, I'm going to look at the recent history, but off the top of my head for Stanford, I know it's been pretty rough for them on the road. This is going to be their first true road game this year, but I know last year they were just awful on the road, like non-competitive. And that's what I'd be worried about.
They had a couple good games at home. I remember the Oregon game or UCLA at home. But other than that, they were awful on the road.
But I won't be on Washington here because, like I said, they've made a significant point spread adjustment toward Washington after that win against Michigan